Hi everyone, and thank you for choosing to join another Ready to Ride Pilates for Horse Riders session. Although of course if you are not a horse rider it doesn't matter at all. All these exercises will be beneficial provided you are fit and healthy enough to do them. We are going to be doing a mid-intensity session today, and with choosing exercises that will cover pretty much the whole of your body. We're going to start off in sitting, and what I would like you to do is think about lengthening up through your spine, trying to feel really elastic and growing yourself up as tall as you can, and lengthening up through your neck so that your head feels really nice and light and floaty before you start. Then pop your arms across your chest, and keeping that lengthened spine feeling, turn your shoulders from side to side, focusing on having nice equal weight through your seat bones as you do that turn. Try to keep your shoulders level as you go as well, still feeling that lengthened spine. This is great for just opening up through the whole of your spine. Nice little exercise actually to do before you get on the horse, or obviously perhaps not sitting on the floor. Okay, we're now going to go onto your side and we're going to work your glutes muscles. So we're going to start off doing an exercise called the clam, and I would like you to, before you start, open through your mouse hole, check your pelvic floor is onto floor 3, lift your feet off your mat, and then you're going to open and close that top knee, trying to keep your top headlight as still as you can. This exercise is brilliant for your glutes, and it takes them through their full range, which is really helpful for horse riders because glutes are your power muscle. They help to keep you nice and strong and stable when you're in the saddle. Keep checking that mouse hole is staying open through the movement, and keep checking that your pelvic floor is onto floor 3. And then we're going to bring your feet down and straighten your legs. This next one, you can have your top hand on the mat in front of you if you need to for balance, but if you can get away with having your hand onto your head like that would be even better. Check that mouse hole once again, and your pelvic floor onto floor 3. When you're lifting your top leg, bringing the bottom leg up to join it, taking them both down together. Check your mouse hole on your pelvic floor, then lift, lift, and both down together. If you find that you are just a little bit too wobbly without the support of your hand, then by all means put it back. It's absolutely fine. It's better to have your hand and be less wobbly and do the exercise really well than to try and do this without the hand and be really wobbly, because the quality of the work just won't be there. Probably sounds a bit familiar to something you get told in your lessons. Go for the quality. Okay. We're now going to turn onto your front and do a little exercise that's excellent for targeting your postural control muscles. We're going to do an exercise called the swan dive. So if you can lie with your head face down onto your headrest and arms out to the side, elbows bent to 90 degrees. And to set yourself up, to draw those shoulder blades back and down so the front of your shoulders is nicely away from your mat. Bring your pelvic floor lift up onto floor 3 and lift your tummy away from the imaginary puddle of water underneath you. I'm now going to turn to my mat and show you how to do this. So you are lifting arms, head and neck together whilst looking at the floor the whole time, looking at your mat, keeping the lift really small, keeping your tummy away from the puddle of water. That is helping you to get your spine in a neutral position and stop you from hinging through your low back instead. So keeping that tummy in neutral keeps your spine in neutral. Keep those shoulder blades back and down, and keep that pelvic floor onto floor 3. Another little cheat that people do is they come up and then arms, the head goes down and then the arms. Try to make sure that everything is working together. Okay, you're probably getting a bit tired with that one, so now we're going to go onto your other side. You guys can just turn over if you want to. I'm going to turn to the other end of my mat. And again, we're going to start off with the clam. So once again, mouse hole open, pelvic floor onto floor 3, feet off your mat, and you're going to open and close that top knee. Once again, working those glutes, your powerhouse muscles. Try to make sure that that top headlight stays nice and still throughout the whole of the movement. That means that all the movement is coming from your hip and you're not cheating and wobbling around through your pelvis. Keep checking your mouse hole, is it open? If your mouse hole is open, your spine is straight. If your mouse hole's closed, you've sunk down and you're no longer straight through your spine. And that's what happens when you collapse to one side on the horse. So good time to practice now. Okay, straighten those legs. Again, if you want to, for this next one, you can have your hand onto the mat if you need to for balance. Check that mouse hole, pelvic floor, lift, lift, both legs down together. Lift, lift, both legs down together. The key with this one is not to lift your top leg too high. If you lift too high, your bottom leg hasn't got a hope of coming to. Keep that mouse hole, keep that pelvic floor. This is good, it's a tough exercise, but it's a really good one to do. Okay, we can do a couple more. Okay, and then onto your back, and we're going to start off with an exercise called the scissors, which is really good for hip control. If you have a spiky ball, you might want to pop it on your tummy, just give you a little bit of feedback about whether you're keeping your pelvis level. I normally do that, but my garden isn't actually completely flat, so I haven't got a hope of keeping the spiky ball in position. But I can use my hands onto my headlights and get some feedback from those instead. So I'm going to come up into tabletop, aiming to keep that 90 degrees at hip, 90 degrees at the knee, and then take one foot down, back up, and then the other one down and back up. Always moving from the hips, not cheating, and just going from the knees. So always from the hips. This is great for abdominal control and also working your hip flexors, which are really important muscles and often a little bit weak in the horse rider. So this is a great exercise to do. You may well find that one side is much weaker than the other. It's very normal, so don't worry. You just have to work a little bit harder at that side. Okay, one more each leg. Okay, I'm going to bring my feet down one at a time and take my headrest away for this last exercise on your back. And we're going to do an exercise called the shoulder bridge. I love this exercise. It has so many beneficial qualities to it. But we're going to use it now for mobilising through the whole of your spine, but also working on that nice control through your abdominals and your hip flexors once again. So I would like you to check your feet and knees are hip width apart. Engage your pelvic floor lift onto floor 3. Then flatten your low back into the mat. You're imprinting your spine onto your mat and then peeling up one vertebra at a time until you get to the top and you form that bridge. Straightish line from shoulders, hips to knees. Make sure you can breathe in and out easily at the top. And then one at a time, bring those vertebrae back down through your imprint to your finished position. So on again, imprint, peel up one vertebra at a time, pause at the top, breathe in and out, and then come back down again through your imprint to neutral. We're going to make it a little bit harder this next time. So imprint up each vertebrae one at a time, make sure you can breathe at the top. Now think about what your headlights are up to. You're going to straighten each leg in turn. So those headlights are hopefully staying nice and level, and you've got to really work hard using your glutes, your hamstrings, your abdominals and your hip flexors to keep you in that neutral and balanced position. This is a great exercise for combining lots of different muscle groups. Okay, one more with each leg. And then as you come back down again, each vertebrae, one at a time, through your imprint to your neutral position. Okay, we're now going to come back up into sitting. And we're going to do an exercise, I love this exercise, called the leg pull. And you want to sit with your hands quite a little way out behind you. You need somewhere to go onto your hands. And again, this is a more of a hip control abdominal exercise. So pelvic floor onto floor 3. And then you're opening your hips like a hinge. And then closing that hinge again. So it's pelvic floor into the lift. And slowly back down again. So you don't want to be thinking of curling through your spine so much like the shoulder bridge, but it's more using those hip flexors opening up and then slowly back down again. If you find that quite easy, when you get to the top, you can add on a few leg movements. So up to the top, again trying to keep those headlights absolutely level. This is a really good challenge. Think about all the times when you move one leg for a lateral aid, for example, counter transition. You want the rest of your body to stay still. What you don't want to do is to collapse through your pelvis as you move one leg. We'll do 2 more of this one. One last one. Make sure your pelvic floor is still helping you. And back down again. Super job. Okay, I'm going to turn to face you. And we're going to do one last exercise, which is a really nice way of finishing off and loosening off or mobilising through your spine. I'd like you to pop your arms up in front of you. And now I'd like you to imagine you've got headlights stuck to the front of your elbows. And you're going to just push those elbows forwards and back. And as you go forwards, keep those headlights absolutely level so they're not dropping down. They're going straight forwards, hopefully mine are level-ish. Most often I do find that people have one side that tends to go a little bit higher than the other. Then at the end of this movement now, I'd like you to scoop upwards. So you go forwards, scoop up, and forwards, scoop up. And you should feel this is mobilising through that upper and mid part of your back. But now there's a twist, and I'd like you to swap your legs around so that they are in your unusual way of crossing your legs, and then pop your arms around so that they're the unusual way for you to cross your arms, because we all have a preferential way of doing it. And we're going to do the same thing again. So it's forwards with those imaginary headlights on the front of your elbows, keeping them level, and feel that movement between your shoulder blades around the middle of your back. And then we're going to add on that stretch again at the end, so forwards and up, forwards and up. Just intensify that feeling of stretch and mobilisation. I love this one if you've been sat at the computer for ages. This is a really good one to do. One more. Lovely. Okay, then let's just rest your arms back down. And then to finish, once again I would like you to think about your spine and to lengthen yourself up. The importance is to be really elastic as you lengthen up and not fixed and rigid. So lengthen up, feel really elastic. And then imagine you have a piece of string attached to the top of your head. And that's going to help you grow another inch or so. And we're going to finish the session there. So I hope you found that enjoyable and useful. There will be obviously more sessions like this coming up over the next few weeks. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to this channel, because then you'll be the first to know when these sessions come out. And I love hearing any comments that people have got on any particular exercises or body parts that you want to have covered, so please do let me know. Thank you once again, and I will see you very soon.